California went from being a coronavirus success story in the spring to a summer hotspot with more than 300,000 confirmed cases right now. One troubling trend is that more young adults are testing positive for the virus. That includes at the University of California, Berkeley. The number of students testing positive on campus more than doubled in just 1 week. And Dr. Anna Hart is the medical director of UC Berkeley University Health Services, joining us now. And Dr. Hart, tell us about this, because you're attributing this spike to fraternity and sorority parties causing a surge. What's happening there?
Well, there were a number of events, social gatherings, and a few parties as well, larger parties attended by members of the Greek system and some other students as well about a week and a half ago, where people were definitely not wearing masks, physical distancing, etc. They were sharing beverages and food, and there were certainly more than the current recommended 12 people involved. So what happened is a couple of cases started popping up. When we called those cases, we heard about the events, and then over the next few days, it rapidly became apparent that some of those cases had gone to their own households or other smaller gatherings and had spread there too. So there's a seeding effect that's happened in our community that really all or almost all of them trace back to some pretty happy gatherings that happened a little while ago.
And so this might jeopardize reopening. Tell us about that.
Well, in a couple of ways. First of all, the most important one is, right now, fortunately, we really haven't had anyone get seriously ill. Our students are mostly young and healthy, and they've been getting away with it. And many of us have been getting a little bit more relaxed with time. But sooner or later, there'll be a tragedy. And when a tragedy hits, obviously, that's going to affect a lot of things, including people's families and willingness to come to campus. Also, as the numbers go up, our public health officer, with whom we work very closely, obviously becomes concerned, and it will affect the county and community's ability to reopen. Berkeley's been very cautious and slow in reopening, unlike many places, and we've kept things pretty well under control. But if the numbers keep going, we're going to have to backtrack. And when we backtrack, then campuses, schools, and also a lot of businesses will not be able to open, and that'll be really sad because we've done pretty well thus far.
And I'm actually a Cal grad myself, and so, we're very familiar with Berkeley. It's in an urban setting. I was a resident assistant when I was there, and so as we've been talking about reopening universities, I was thinking about the dorm that I lived in, which is really a model for many dorms at Cal, and that is a high rise. I think it had 8 floors. I want to say there were about 250 students. And one of the things I would tell people about having gone to school at Berkeley was we actually had 1 floor with a bunch of rooms, and there was a large communal bathroom that was co-ed, that's kind of standard in a lot of dorms. How do you contend with that, where you actually have this isn't a suite style living situation in the dorms? And of course, housing is at a premium in Berkeley. How do you reopen when you have so many of your freshmen and even your sophomores who are supposed to be living in that kind of environment?
It's really challenging. We've been putting a lot of thought into it. So first of all, one thing we've learned is whether we hold in-person classes or not, a lot of students want to come back to Berkeley. They want to see their friends. They want to socialize. They want to be part of that experience. So it's not all hinging on the classes being in person or not. That said, on-campus housing we actually have more control over. We've been doing a lot of thinking and reallocating rooms, while traditionally a lot of rooms are triples or quads, or at least doubles. We are now going for single occupancy, which unfortunately then has a ripple effect, which means that students who want to come to the community find campus housing, outside of the campus. And as often happens, especially in a community where rental and housing prices are high, they tend to congregate in very large households. So frankly, I'm a lot less worried about the on-campus housing situation than I am on what can happen out in the community. So we're working, that's why we have to work so closely with our health officer to strategize around that, and which is why we take this so seriously, even though none of these students actually had spent any time on campus, is still part of that community.
That's very interesting. I know it's a logistical feat that you all are going through. Dr. Hart, thanks for being with us.
Sure, thank you.